It was a chilly Friday evening in Chicago, and the streets buzzed with life. The city lights reflected across the windows of tall buildings, creating an atmosphere that felt both mysterious and alive. My name is Emily Carter, a 24-year-old recent graduate from Northwestern University. Life had been both exciting and confusing after finishing college, and I had been searching for meaning in my new job as a junior marketing associate. That night, I was invited to a party hosted by a colleague, Rachel, who lived in a trendy apartment downtown. Normally, I wasn't the type to attend large parties filled with people I barely knew, but Rachel insisted. She said, "Emily, you've been working so hard. You deserve a break. Just come and relax. Everyone from the office will be there." I hesitated at first. Social gatherings often made me nervous. I liked smaller, more intimate circles where I could have deep conversations instead of being surrounded by loud music and strangers. But something inside me pushed me to say yes. Maybe it was curiosity, maybe it was the need to break my routine. Either way, I agreed. When I arrived at Rachel's apartment, the place was already buzzing. Music played in the background, and laughter echoed across the hallways. I could smell pizza, chips, and the faint scent of candles Rachel had probably lit to set the mood. People mingled, talked, and danced. For a moment, I stood near the entrance, clutching my small purse, feeling completely out of place. Rachel spotted me immediately and rushed over. "Emily, you made it," she said, hugging me. Her warmth gave me courage. She introduced me to a few people, and slowly, I started to feel more comfortable. As the night went on, I wandered around the apartment, sipping on soda while others enjoyed the drinks. I spoke to a few coworkers and even shared some laughter with people I'd never met before. It wasn't as bad as I had imagined. In fact, it felt freeing. But then something unusual happened. Around midnight, the crowd had thinned a little. Some guests had left, others were busy dancing in the living room. I stepped out onto the balcony for some fresh air. That's when I noticed three men I didn't recognize approaching me. They weren't from the office, that much I was sure of. One of them, tall and broad-shouldered with sharp eyes, spoke first. "Hey, you're Emily, right?" I hesitated. "Yes. Do I know you?" The second one, wearing a leather jacket, smiled faintly. "Not yet. But we've been waiting to talk to you." Before I could respond, the third one pointed toward a quiet room down the hall. "Can we talk in there? It's important." My heart skipped. For a moment, I froze, unsure what to do. Everything about the situation felt strange. Why would three men I didn't know want to speak to me privately at a party? I quickly assessed my options. I could panic, or I could stay calm and figure out what this was really about. My instincts told me to be cautious. I straightened up and said, "If you have something to say, you can say it here." The tall one exchanged glances with the others, then leaned in slightly. "It's about Rachel. We think she might be in some kind of trouble." That caught me off guard. "What do you mean?" "She's fine. She's in the living room right now." The man in the leather jacket shook his head. "Not the kind of trouble you're thinking. We can't explain everything out here. Please, just give us a few minutes." Now I was conflicted. Part of me wanted to walk away, but another part, the part that cared for Rachel, wondered if they were telling the truth. So I made a decision. I would go, but cautiously. The hallway was dimly lit, and as we entered the quiet room, I felt my heart beating faster. I stayed near the door, ready to leave if anything felt wrong. The tall man spoke again. "Emily, we're not here to scare you. We actually need your help." I frowned. "With what?" he continued, lowering his voice. "Rachel's older brother. He owes a dangerous man a lot of money. That man sent us here tonight. We were supposed to pressure Rachel, but when we saw you, we realized you might be the only one she'll listen to." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Why me?" I asked. "Because she trusts you," the man in the jacket said. "We've seen how she talks about you at work. She looks up to you, Emily. If you tell her to be careful, she might take it seriously." My head was spinning. This was too much for one night. A party that had started with laughter had suddenly turned into a mystery. I took a deep breath. Look, if you're telling the truth, then you need to leave Rachel out of this. She doesn't deserve to be dragged into her brother's mistakes. The men looked at each other again. Finally, the tall one nodded. You're right, we'll back off, for now. But please, warn her. She needs to know what's going on. And just like that, they left the room, disappearing into the night as if they had never been there. I stood there, shaken. 1,000 thoughts ran through my mind. Were they really telling the truth? Or was it just some strange setup? When I returned to the living room, Rachel was dancing and laughing, completely unaware of what had just happened. I didn't know whether to ruin her night by telling her or to wait until morning. In the end, I decided to protect her peace for the moment. I smiled, joined her on the dance floor for a little while, and promised myself I would talk to her privately the next day. The following morning, over coffee at a small cafe in downtown Chicago, I told Rachel everything. She listened quietly, her face growing pale as I spoke. Finally, she whispered, Emily, they weren't lying. My brother has been struggling. I've tried to help him, but I didn't know it was this bad. Tears welled in her eyes, and I held her hand. We'll figure this out together, I said firmly. And in that moment, I realized something important. Life is full of unexpected turns. Sometimes, you walk into a party thinking it's just another night, but you walk out carrying a secret that could change someone's life. That night taught me courage, loyalty, and the importance of standing by the people we care about, especially when they need us the most.